I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not. Will not be the king and will not.
Me hoy, me hoy.
Hey, what is up guys, Epic Pokemon TCG here, and today guys I've got a deck profile video, and I just want to go ahead and say sorry now for the lack of uploads here lately. I normally try to upload every day, but I've been extremely busy here recently, and so I just wanted to take today to upload something and give you guys some kind of content to watch. But this list is a list that did very well at a states tournament here recently, I believe, and so I figured I'll go ahead and share it with you guys. We're going to be taking a look at Trevenant break here, but unfortunately for some reason, I don't know if this is some type of new addition to Pokemon TCG Online where you can't look at the cards and make the card come up on the screen whenever the deck's fully out, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. So the first thing we're going to take a look at here is Trevenant break. It has 160 HP and has the attack Silent Fear. Put 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon, and this is really good for late game. If your opponent has a bunch of stuff on the field that's really heavily damaged, and you can just start knocking out stuff. And it's also very good for decks that have to evolve or just have low HP in general, because you have the potential to take multiple knockouts with this attack. So it's very good, and really more or less it's just in here for the 160 HP, but it does have its uses with Silent Fear. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Trevenant here. It has 110 HP and has the ability Forest Curse. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand. So if you go first and you're able to get this thing out turn 1, I'm about to sneeze, 1 second. Woo. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so pretty much if you're able to get this out right on your first turn, it just puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, because your opponent might open up with like Ultra Balls and just stuff like that that will allow them to draw into cards, you know, probably grab a Hoopa or grab a Shaman or something along those lines, maybe Battle Compressor and then VS Seeker. There's just a lot of ways that this ability can just kind of screw up your opponent and just really make it really hard on them to play. And that's pretty much what this deck is all about, is locking down the items and just kind of dishing out as much damage as absolutely possible. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Tree Slam. It does 60 damage, and then this attack does 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So now, if you do pull off Tree Slam, and the next turn you start doing a Silent Fear or something like that, then you can really start racking up the damage. And basically, with this deck, nothing's safe. If you put it on the field, it's in danger at all times. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Phantom here. It's better to play this one here, even though it does have 50 HP, but it has Ascension. Search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon. So basically with this, you have the capability of getting Trevenant basically immediately, and that's just very good. And then we're going to be taking a look at Shaman EX. It's really just in here for the setup ability, and also it's also very good in mirror matches, I believe, because really, like, Trevenant just doesn't have an answer for Shaman over and over, but you only play 2, so that probably wouldn't be a good way to go about it. More so, it's just in here for setup. And then finally, we're going to take a look at Wobbuffet, which is also another card that is very disruptive. And if I said Wook, my bad. Anyway, so it has the ability Bide Barricade. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, each Pokemon in play in each player's hands and each player's discard pile has no abilities except for Psychic Pokemon. So if you can't get Trevenant out and you just have Wobbuffet active and you're going first, your opponent can't Shaman. Your opponent really, they can only Hoopa, but normally when you Hoopa, you grab a Shaman or something like that. So it just really, shutting down abilities like early on just really just hurts. And also this is able to attack Aegislash, I guess. I'm just trying to throw out ideas here, but Wobbuffet does have a lot of very good uses. Also, if Trevenant, was able to heavily damage some Pokemon, then you can just kind of Lysander it up, or just send up Wobbuffet and start doing a lot of damage, and that's really what it's in here for. It's just a secondary attacker that's very good in multiple situations with this deck. Now next up, we're going to be taking a look at the trainers here, and I feel like I could just kind of do this. I can just do this for the trainers. We have 3 Sycamore. You guys can see a little cursor right here. 2 Professor Birch's Observations, 2 Lysander, and we have 2 Judge. Now, Judge is really good in this deck because it is able to lower your opponent's hand size down, so maybe they draw like 3 trainers or something like that, just kind of screw them up. Or if they had a hand just, full of just trainers. You have to make them shuffle that all back in. So now they have the capability of not being able to top deck things, and they might be drawing trainer after trainer after trainer. You just never know. But Judge, definitely a good card. If you can see right down here in the corner, we do have Wally. Wally really just kind of helps accelerate getting out Trevenant, making it a very easy thing to get turn 1. We also do play 2 Battle Compressor in here too, so you can also discard those in the discard pile. And then with the 4 VS Seeker, you have a pretty good chance of getting them and just getting that Trevenant off turn 1. Very good. We also have Delinquent in here. Delinquent is a very interesting card. Pretty much you just discard a stadium, and then your opponent has to discard 3 cards from their hand. This is pretty sweet, honestly. Like if you miss a turn where you don't have Dimension Valley, which we play 4 here, you can just play Delinquent, make them discard their stadium, and then they have to get rid of 3 cards in their hands. You know, normally I guess like the thing would do against this deck would be discard trainers or something like that. You just probably won't need, but still Delinquent can be very disruptive and just put your opponent in a really like awkward position, because when it comes to like this kind of deck, you know, you never know if your opponent's going to miss a turn with Trevenant or something like that, or if it's not going to be active. You just never know. So your opponent really has to think over what they want to discard and what they want to hang on to. Then we have 06. 06 is in here to discard, you know, annoying tools or special energy or just something like that. And then 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Trainer's Mail. This is in here to help you get your like Battle Compressor, get your Wally, etc. And then we have Bursting Balloon. We're actually going to take a look at Bursting Balloon, because Bursting Balloon is a very handy card for this deck. I really hate that I have to do this now. But if you guys know another way to bring them up, like whenever they're like the deck's all expanded out, just let me know, because I can't find it. And pretty much if this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard this card at the end of your opponent's turn. And pretty much with this card, if your opponent attacks your Trevenant, let's say you have this attached to a Trevenant, and they attack it, they take 6 damage, and then you discard the tool. So that's going to allow you to rack up even more damage. And just really, like, if your opponent can pull off an attack, they're going to have to pay for it, which is very awesome. Bursting Balloon is a very annoying card just to add to the annoyance of this deck. Dimension Valley, this is a very cool card. I don't know why I just didn't just keep the little wheel thing, but you know we're going to keep going with it. Dimension Valley, each Psychic Pokemon's attacks, both of yours and your opponent's, require 1 colorless less. So now we're going to take a look at our Pokemon here. So basically, Trevenant Break would only have to attack for 1 Psychic. And then we have Trevenant would only take 2 energy. Wobbuffet would only take 1 Psychic. And then if you're able to actually get all that stuff and you for some reason miss your Trevenant and you can attack, then you could just Ascension for free, basically. So that's pretty sweet. Trying to think if there anything else. Super Rod, you guys know, just get this evolutions back in there. Escape Rope, help retreat. And then we have Floatstone. Really, Floatstone is just in here to put on your Wobbuffet or put on your Trevenant, because these do have pretty hefty retreat costs. 3 energy and 2 energy. But, you know, we're also going to take a look at the energy here. Mystery Energy also allows you to kind of just maneuver around for free, and you don't have to pay the high retreat cost. And then we're going to round out the deck with 6 Psychic Energies. So, I want to apologize. This deck was very awkward and very all over the place, because I can't double click and bring these up to, you know, expand out. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't done that already. This kind of makes me want to do more IRL deck profiles in the future, because I can't just kind of bring up the cards. So yeah, you guys are amazing. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to get up on a normal uploading schedule here again. I've just been so freaking busy lately. But you guys are amazing. I love you. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out. Take care, guys.